you want to put things out that are relevant to people that are within your space, obviously. But honestly, I do feel like, are you on Facebook or Instagram, and do you post? And
I'm actually on a hiatus right
yeah.
now, but typically yes.
Yeah.
I'm taking a little break right now too.
I think that a lot of people, especially when it comes to in official capacities, when it comes to a business, is that we tend to look at our social media and content like accounts to be more rigid. We're like, okay, we got to post at 9 p.m. because this is when we're going to get the most engagement. And we got to make sure, like, oh, is there like a little GIF or, someone doing the dab or whatever? Like people overthink it when honestly, if it's you that's there in charge of this community and there are people part of this community, you most likely already have the same things in common, right? Mm-hmm. So I would just put out whatever you find interesting, right? Mm-hmm. And then most likely there might be a little bit of engagement on that, right? I wouldn't just try and find things to cater towards just them, like just to put out to them, but put out for us, right? So like just that in my head, that's what because I've done that a lot. Like I've just, what would they like, and what kind of content is going to make them want to press the like button, and like, and so if you, especially when it comes to the community aspect, since they're already there, and chances are whatever you think is interesting, they're going to find interesting. And also, and I mean, it's going to be cliche, but you've always watched a YouTube video and they're always like, don't forget to, don't forget to press the like, share button. And then they would like ask you some dumb question that like at the end of their video, that doesn't really mean anything, but it's just a way of just getting someone to type an answer, right? So what do you think about yada, yada, yada? But I would just say not to overthink, especially when it comes to the timing. I used to wake up at 4:30 in the morning to post. Well, I say wake up, but I'm more of a night person anyway. So I was already up at 4:30, but I wouldn't post anything until 4:30 a.m. every day. And that's because I was like, well, with the Instagram algorithm, I'm going to get more likes this way. And like, cause you're getting before the curve, before everybody gets on. I mean, yeah, to an extent, it like, that's a thing. But at the same time, you're never, the algorithms for Facebook and Instagram change all the time, to the fact where you really can't predict it, right? Now, I would say, yes, post like at times where it's more crowded on the platform. But at the same time, I go through my feed every day, and I'm seeing stuff from 2 days ago. I'm seeing stuff from 3 days ago, right? It's just post, and what you're gonna get traffic anyway, regardless. Now, there is gonna be a difference in quality of content that's put up. Some things are more relevant to others than other things, right? So they're gonna be more likely to engage and like and share and double tap whatever that thing is. But I wouldn't be so concerned with how many likes you're getting on that content. If you're getting, hey, this is cool, even if you get 5, you got 5 before you had 0, right? And so the more you're able to start putting things out there, start getting a bit of engagement, you'll start seeing what works and what doesn't, and what's more relevant to the people that are within your community than not. And then if the more relevant it becomes, the more viral it becomes, because people are going to be more willing to engage and share it with their other friends. So, Michelle, how we doing?
Hi. Sorry, I keep having to mute because there's workers, and then my dog is not into
That's fine. I do not stress over barking dogs and stuff. So
He's very,
I'm
Um,
just gonna ask you what it is that brought you here as well now.
so I have someone help me with marketing, and she literally sent it to me and said, "This looks like exactly what you've been asking for." So she kind of just sent me the link. So just to be honest, like it was just, yeah, all right, I'm
Okay.
doing that because for the last 2 weeks, I'm like, I'm stuck on content. I'm stuck on content.
What is that now? Explain that? What does that mean? Stuck on content.
Well, I feel like I kind of just do the same thing over and over again, which it's a lot of things. So but it still gets a little stale feeling.
Hmm.
So I just was like, maybe just hoping for, I'm doing my own social media, but I'm doing my own everything. So
Yeah.
being
Well,
creative,
yeah.
posting, it's only like one tiny part of my whole business, but I spend probably about 20 hours a week on it. And that's,
Okay.
that's a lot of time to spend on it. And I feel
It
like
is.
since I had other people trying to do it for me and it just never worked. So I enjoy it. So that's a
So
good,
you say it never works. What do you mean by never works? What are you trying to achieve that you're not achieving?
what did I say? It never works. I don't know. I hope I didn't say that. I guess
Oh,
I
I
guess
thought you just said it never works. My
I
bad.
might have said that. All right. So I'm thinking like I'm looking for some inspiration.
Hmm.
You guys are awesome. Like I read your blogs and stuff. Like I know you guys are great and I follow your stuff. So that's kind of why I was like, yes, these guys their content's really awesome. And let's say one of my things that might be holding me back a little is a couple things. Really finding out who's my exact core customer is difficult with CBD because everyone
Hmm.
can use CBD, and really we do market for older crowd. Um,
Okay.
and the older crowd isn't necessarily the ones on Facebook and Instagram. So I feel like I'm just trying to pull the younger demographic because they're on the social media. However, the
Yeah.
older people are really the one, I want everyone, but in marketing, you can't just say, oh, everyone. You're supposed to try to pick your core customer. So I feel like maybe it goes a little all over the place in some cases.
Yeah. How so?
Because I'm not really focused on one person, like the avatar, that whole thing.
Okay.
And we tried to do that, but everyone needs CBD, and it's like, oh, I don't want to market it too much this direction or that direction. So
Okay.
maybe like having my eye on who is my customer is a little bit cloudy. And also as a business, I can't boost my my posts because it's CBD, and so they consider us
Oh,
tobacco.
really?
They consider us tobacco literally. If you try to boost
Yeah.
it, post it says we do not promote tobacco products. I'm like,
Oh.
neither do I. So when you have a business page and you can't boost it, they only so many people see your stuff. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't go. So it's getting the reach is hard. So like posting to groups helps a lot, but a lot of
Yeah.
people don't want to see it on you posting that stuff. So I guess group appreciated type of posts that include more tips or help rather than sales.
Yeah.
Would
And
be
I would go more, I agree in that route instead of like, I wouldn't go to groups and just try and sell to them, right?
no,
So,
but then what do I'm trying? But I really am trying to do that.
I
Like,
mean,
I'm
yes,
not,
and that I understand. That's how it works.
yeah. So that's a tricky part
Yeah.
to try to like figure that out. I've
Yeah.
done a couple where you actually like they say you can post 3 times a day, and I get a lot out of those.
Yeah.
So thank goodness for the 1 or 2 that are like post 3 times a day. We want it and it works. So maybe finding more or being able to curb my posts to where it would be accepted in some other places as not so salesy,
Yeah.
which I do try, but I think I could do better. Yeah, and just being able to get people to engage. It'll be like, but no one says anything. Even if I do a giveaway, listen, you just
Yeah.
have to like tag a friend and write one comment.
Yeah.
Like they like it. I'm like, well, you're not going to win.
Yeah.
That's a tricky part, getting engagement.
Yeah.
I try those too.
Social media is a conundrum, right? Like,
Yeah.
so as far as I personally would, do you have any photos of like, do you take regular photos of your shop?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I have several different types of posts and I try to intertwine them.
Yeah.
We do in-store videos, like, and we try to make them tips, you know,
Okay. Okay.
do photographs of pictures.
And these are all done by yourself?
Well, I do straight up like ads with professional pictures that are that, and then I do pictures myself. So there's
Yeah.
a combination of like professional looking ads mixed in with store, and the ones from the store always get more engagement. The
Yeah.
videos flop almost like the least professional people like more, it
Yeah.
seems, because it just looks real. They like the real stuff.
And exactly. And that's what I was pretty much about to get to, is just like, I would make sure you're just keeping it very authentic
Hmm.
on your page, right? On your Instagram or your Facebook, because especially when it comes to like, people don't like getting sold to. They you know, it's like they like to think is their idea that they're buying from you.
Yeah, yeah.
They like to think is their idea that they're, you know, gonna engage with whatever product that you're putting out. And so and so you said you can't put out ads, Facebook ads,
No,
because of your CBD?
correct.
Yikes. Yeah, I
I
don't know.
know. So one
Have
idea
you
is to maybe try to get another business to post it for me and pay them to to boost. Like I'm gonna try that angle because it's really taken
I would agree with that. Like, cross promoting is definitely a good way to um, get awareness, right?
yeah.
I didn't see, I didn't know that. Now, I personally, have you ever consulted like an actual marketer?
Um, a little bit.
Yeah, and what happened?
Well, it was a lot of money. I went through a whole like coaching with a marketing coach. So I
Yeah,
did like a full, I forget how many months, but I had, I did her minimum. It was at least 3 months,
yeah,
um, 3 to 6, I can't remember, maybe 4 months, something like that. And it was like a whole month of figuring out your avatar. I've been through this so many times before with different businesses.
yeah,
Then every ad has to go to the specific woman who's 55 that goes to yoga. That it's like, okay, it was too much of that where I'm like, yes, no one likes this exercise, everyone can't stand it.
yeah.
But for me it was like, I think that CBD is too broad for just this one lady. So
Hmm.
and I felt like in that coaching, I'm a coach, so I felt like I was kind of would have probably done this stuff on my own. I didn't really feel that it was super valuable, but it kept me accountable, which was a good
Yeah,
one. So I feel like as far as advertising and marketing, I have
yeah.
a base understanding and background. I'm taking a little online course right now from Udemy. Like I'm trying to, but the money to pay someone, I'm just deciding I'm going to try to learn it.
I hey, you're preaching. I am a big fan of YouTube University. That's where I've
Mhm.
learned a myriad of things. I personally, though, like, especially because I've been doing, especially when it comes to marketing, I've been just like you, going through my own courses and figuring out how to do it myself. And I do agree that, especially as the owner, you need to be versed in all aspects, right? In your accounting, you need to be versed in inventory, you need to be versed in all kinds of things, including your marketing. But I am also of the group that believes that it is better, there needs to be a time where you bring in professionals. You know,
Yeah.
there needs to be a time where, like, if you notice that you've been doing it, and like, because you have other things to do, you say you spend 20 hours a week on doing this, and you're not seeing the results that you would like, maybe and yes, you consulted one, that marketer, and you weren't feeling it too well, and hey, it's done, you move on. But I would consider, because especially like one that would understand the innings and the ins and outs of like promoting a product like yours
Right.
while, you know, not being able to advertise, right? So
Yeah.
that in itself is tricky as it is. So
Well, it's also the FDA is not us allowed to make any claims. We can't even say what CBD does. We're not allowed, we have to walk, we have to dance around everything.
yeah, I mean, you're pretty much
Training.
fighting with like one hand tied behind your back and blindfolded, right? So
Yeah.
being able to get in, you know, your Mr. Miyagi that could help with that kind of situation is pretty crucial, I would think. You know, it's not just like selling a t-shirt, because you could do that and I could make a million ads to different types of people to sell a t-shirt. But if you can't even put out, hey, you know, CBD makes you feel just a little bit more relaxed, then like, I don't know. I would definitely have to consult somebody that would really be able to, that's either been in that kind of that kind of experience or whatever with that.
Yeah,
those kind
like
of
someone literally in the industry or in the tobacco industry.
Yeah. That's so you know, yeah. CBD is considered tobacco, huh?
Well, I guess they don't have a better way to explain it on
Yeah.
Facebook. It's really frustrating.
Yeah, I can believe that for sure.
Yeah.
But
they'll
yeah.
close your page.
So, but like as far as your social media, because I don't believe like you should be hard selling on like your own Instagram page and stuff like that. I think it should be more authentic towards your shop and your products, and just really nice photos of what you have or videos of what you have in the space that it is, and like try and like give an experience of give the viewer like an experience of what they're like a sneak peek of what they're going to experience by coming into your shop, right? And that's why I believe in professional photos. Like I obviously I'm a photographer, so maybe I'm a bit biased there, but I like, you don't have to be a photographer to take really good photos. You just need to understand like composition and understand angles and stuff like that. So I do believe like, especially when it comes to business, video and photos are one of the most important things, because it's what's going to show the quality of your own products, right? Like if so, I take a lot of real estate photography, right? And if you go on, I don't know if you ever went searching looking for a house or whatever, but there's a lot of it's called the MLS, which is where they put all the listings for a lot of the homes. And if you go on there, you will see the most god awful angles of the most beautiful homes that you've ever come across, right? And so like there's no light in there. There's no light. It's super dark. There's a lot of shadow. Like they're too tall. They're pointing the camera at the toilet. You know what I mean? Like no one's looking for a home looking to see how pretty your toilet is, right? They want to see how nice the bathroom looks. And so I think that translates very well to like when you are taking photos and videos of your own space and your business and your own products, like you need to keep in mind how it comes off for someone else looking at it, right? And so if I'm looking at it like, and it's hard because a lot of people, they don't, you know, they're very, hey, this is my t-shirt, so it looks amazing. So, you know, they take the photo and like, hey, they're trying to show everybody the t-shirt, but at the same time, they didn't really pay attention to like the lighting that this t-shirt was in, right? Now, I'm not saying every photo on your page needs to be 1,000% gorgeous and edited to the best of your ability or this, that, and the other. But I am saying for the most part, just be very cognizant of what you're putting up and how it's going to come across to the end user, right? We did have, oh, I guess she bounced. Okay, I was gonna get to her next. But Emily, what is it that you currently do as far as like posting and stuff like that?
Yeah, so so in our space, we don't necessarily use like external platforms. Like I don't post to Instagram or Facebook for the community. We have like internal broadcasting and an internal network that kind of functions like Facebook.
Is that for a specific reason or just so it keeps it very?
Yeah. So with our co-working space, there's so many buildings like all over the globe. So it just doesn't make sense to have localized social media because it's a little too hard, I think, for the company to sort of
Got it.
look over, which makes sense.
Yeah.
So they've sort of tried to duplicate that in an internal way. But what we're finding is that a lot of our members are just like opting out or unsubscribing, which again is fair. So I'm trying to be really intentional about the amount we're posting and what we're posting. But it's definitely difficult to try to navigate.
Now, what I've seen, especially from just me personally, a lot of the opting out, I don't know like what their schedule is when, I'm guessing this is if they're opting out is maybe via email and stuff like that.
We have like an email broadcast and then also like a network broadcast, but you can opt out.
They go to like a site or something for this network broadcast. Okay.
The notifications are kind of pushed, and I think that's another reason why a lot of members will opt out, because when they see they can opt out of the push notifications, then they're like, well, I'm just going to opt out of all
especially of it. I mean, and it definitely depends on the frequency of like these updates and the push notifications and stuff like that. Like there's one that I'm part of that goes to my email, and even though I haven't opted out, in my head I've opted out, right? Like I'm just like, I'm so like, they send one maybe one every day or one every other day, and it's just like there's no one is going to be willing to read that every day, right? I feel like that's why social media helps a bit, especially like Facebook groups. Facebook groups are very big, because it even though with Facebook groups, they're already on Facebook and they could casually browse the group that they're part of, that network group or whatever that they're a part of, and then casually exit, right? Instead of what they're getting is super directed to them all the time. And then they're given an option to like opt out, and they're like, all right, cool. Because even if they didn't want to opt out, like they might do it because this week they just got too many notifications, right? And so maybe they'll, next week or whatever. But I just feel, I mean, I personally don't know what this network, that you guys are part of or whatever, but I just, from like personal experience, I know that Facebook groups is cool because like you can put casual content on there. It's not always super directed towards business. It's not always super directed towards like whatever community you're a part of, but it like you can integrate some casual stuff with some business stuff, and some casual topics with some business topics, right? And people could just be casual. So, I feel that in itself helps, with the emailing. I know I've been testing it out myself with my own email list that I have, and I like me approaching email list is literally how I approach getting emails. And I'm just like, you know what? We leave it to once every week and a half, right? And maybe for business, that's not by far the best thing you should be doing. I just, this is just me being me and like being super like conscious about how the person on the other side is like, yo, I already got an email from you 2 days ago. Like, I don't want to hear from you again right now, because that's just how I am. Right. And so, which is, but yeah, so I don't know. I do believe in communities having a Facebook group page. I don't know if you guys have one, but I do believe like if you want to engage in your own community regularly, I think you should have a group page to do that. And
how would you say that LinkedIn sort of, because LinkedIn has that group like functionality too.
Yeah.
But I know LinkedIn also is a little less casual for a lot of individuals.
It is. I wouldn't discount it though, because LinkedIn, honestly, like up until this year, I haven't really paid attention to LinkedIn in like 4 or 5 years. And then this year, for some reason, like everybody's talking about LinkedIn and it's like booming. And so I said, all right. And I went back on there and like, I'm looking and people are putting, it's weird because it's like, it's business related, but it is still kind of casual at the same time, right? Like it's not Facebook casual or like Instagram casual, but it is like, even though like I do still have quite a few people on my like followers list or whatever that are just pushing stuff, you know what I mean? And just like, hey, this is what I found today. And I don't even think they read it. You know what I mean? Like they're just pushing out links or whatever, just whatever. But I do see like just super just authentic posts of just like, and I've done it myself, just like, hey, what up, yada, yada, or like this went down, or like treating it almost like Facebook, but not to that casual point of Facebook, right? And I mean, yeah, and I've seen, just regular convos happening on LinkedIn, which is so weird to me because just like 5-6 years ago, like LinkedIn was like the suit and tie stuff, and just like, which is why I didn't really vibe with it that much, even though like I've owned different businesses throughout the past years, and it's just like, I just don't vibe with the whole, especially like in my messages, you get messages from people that just like, hey, I want to connect. Have you ever been to one of the round tables? I'm like, I don't know, I'm good, man, But I would definitely try it out, especially like, I believe, because even like Rising Tide has one, and I know they're trying on their end to build that community on the LinkedIn channel, but I wouldn't discount it at all. Like, I think that would be a really good idea. And with LinkedIn, you would be able to post something every day, right? You would be able to like post a couple times a day, once in the morning, once in the afternoon, or whatever. And like, it wouldn't be like a faux pas compared to sending an email once in the morning, once in the afternoon, right? So I would try it for sure. I would definitely be down with that. Do you usually like, I'm guessing you plan out what you're going to be sending or no?
Yeah, so we actually don't send out very much. We send out maybe once a week.
Okay, cool.
And that's like in a newsletter. But our click open rate to that newsletter is very, very low. So
Honest, yeah. Trust me, I have the same click opens. Like, I think it takes a while for it to build, for you to start seeing really good click open rates. But yeah, continue. So like, do you plan out for a month, or do you plan out a week ahead, or do you plan out what you're going to put in this newsletter? Like,
yeah, probably at least a week ahead, if not 2 weeks ahead. But especially right now with the nature of events and all sorts of things, we're planning out pretty last minute. Just to kind of see how things change. So yeah, at least a week, if not 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's my like ideal time, is 2 weeks in advance.
Yeah. I mean, even for myself, when it comes to, I'm so bad with scheduling content. Like, it's like, I'm so bad with it. I try to do it, and it just like, I'll follow it for a good week, and then I just start falling off because I didn't, especially like with photographs. Like, I want to make sure I edit it and have all the captions ready and whatever, yada, yada. And it's just like, I tend to wing it. And then like, I feel like, especially as a photographer, we have content for day. If I were to take all the photos up, like if I was to post a photo every day, I could post probably for the next 10 years. 100%. Like, of all the photos I've taken, and I've like that, because we take, as photographers, you take 1 million photos, and then only like 100 of them you like, right? So out of all the ones that I do like, and I have edited, and I've sent out to clients or whatever, yada. If I was to post one every day, I could literally post one every 5, like for the next 5 to 10 years. And like, me knowing that, but then me not doing that actually messes. It was like, it's so annoying, because I know like I just need to sit down, get this together, and just make sure I have it ready for the Monday, for the Wednesday, for the Friday, And so I do think planning out content is best. I do think also that things happen on the internet that people find interesting and relevant, that if you find it, you just put it up. Overthinking is not your friend. Overthinking is not your friend when it comes to social media. I could tell you that from personal experience. If it's not business for me, if it hasn't been business related, I haven't posted. Like you said, you took a hiatus from social media. I've been gone for a long time, for a very long time. And I'm just like, cause I really, especially, the nature of things, and it's being an election year, and just like so many different, people on the internet putting out their thoughts right now. It's just like, it's kind of draining. But I think being able to just push through all that and making sure that you have set content to put out. Do you guys have like videos that you put out, and do you put together videos of your space or this, that, and the other to get people? It does suck the way this year. I'm like, this year will go down in history as just being like, what the fuck? Like, what just happened, right? Because this is a once in a lifetime occurrence. Like, obviously anything we say right now is just like kind of out the window because of the circumstances right now. But I do feel like preparing for normality is a very big thing that we need to be doing right now as well. Like, even though things do kind of suck and they're not going in the direction that they should be. I mean, even for Rising Tide, as a co-working space, you're expecting people to be in the building, networking, co-working. That's not happening right now because of everything. But I do think making sure you're ahead of that curve when it does become normal, say the end of next year, that you have a community big enough that once those doors open, boom, like people are in, because they've been engaging for the past 6 months online with you guys through your group, through your LinkedIn group or your newsletters or whatever. So, yeah, like that's what, especially for myself, that's what I'm preparing for right now. It's just like, you kind of have to write 2020 off. Like, you gotta take the L, right? You gotta just take the L on 2020, but not super, even though, yes, we're, a lot of people are super lean right now and they wish they had a bit more business and this, that, and the other. What you really need to do, because 2020 is just not the year that's going to pop off for anybody like that, unless you're Amazon, right? So what you really need to do is be preparing for when normality does come. And so even though you're slow right now and you're getting your opt-outs on your, throughout your community on different, bulletins or whatever you're sending out, just make sure you keep it consistent and try and figure out the kind of content that does work, that maybe lowers it a little, but at the same time, make sure that once those doors open, because you've had all these people engaging with you now, that the moment the doors open, they're willing to come in. And like, you're not, when normality comes, you're not looking for customers then, right? You're not looking for members then. You're looking for them now to engage. And when I say looking for them now, not like paying members, people that potentially will pay once the doors open, right? Mm-hmm. It's always like the future game when things like that happen. So, yeah.
And I think for us, it's finding the balance between, pre-pandemic, we were able to promote our events, and the space was very lively, and photos and videos were very lively, and we still want to share those things, but we also want to be like sensitive, and we want people to recognize that we're taking precautions and that we're being safe. So it's also difficult because all of our content pre-pandemic doesn't have, right, like it doesn't look safe because of the people, and there's like a lot of action, but also
honestly, I definitely get that too. I do feel like it's okay to put out content, that you guys have from the past of like, this place was cool, like this, it is a cool place. And like, you could put out, the, hey, we take precautions and, we have hand sanitizers ready for you guys and this and the other. But at the same time, like, even all this is just talking from for myself. It's just, I'm sick of just seeing people always putting masks on in their photos and always talking. Like, yes, I get it. We're in a pandemic and it's just like cool, but being overloaded with like caution all around is just so like, it's like, I don't want to engage with anything that's constantly trying to tell me that like, yo, we're in the shitter right now. It's like, I get it. And I understand. But I, especially for you guys and for Rising Tide, you know, I see them like also like, yes, you do want to make sure that people know that your space is clean and is taking precautions. But I also do believe that you should kind of put out a message out there that like, hey, I hate 2020 so much, man. I hate it so much. But yeah, like there's a fine line, right? Like I wouldn't overload it with just all kinds of like, hey, you know, like, because even with, okay, so for myself and Rising Tide, like I'm an ambassador there and I love the place. Now, we went, you know, in the beginning when everything was just like kind of confusing, I guess. No one really knew what was on, and like the businesses had to be shut down, and then they opened them back up, and like, cool. But I want to go to a co-working space for the community and for, you know, to have like that open, nice view of downtown St. Pete and this, that, and the other. Like, I really don't want to go there to constantly wear a mask, right? I wear a mask to the store. I wear a mask to the gas station. And I'm not saying I don't want to go there. Like I want to go there and not wear a mask. Obviously, when you're around people, please wear a mask, yo. But I myself had to take a little hiatus because like that's not the environment that I feel productive in, right? And so as a co-working space to show that like, especially like in your media that you're putting up on your groups as a co-working space, to be showing distance between people and barriers and everything, like I personally think that needs to be toned down more, and a little bit more of some kind of message of unity and community without COVID. I don't know how to do it. Like I'm not the master marketer. I'm just saying that's what I would appreciate a bit more from not just like coworkers, like a lot of businesses. I would appreciate that more than like, you know, like even like I go to USF St. Pete. Actually I have class in just a bit, and I go to USF St. Pete, and it's like, yes, you know, most of my classes were put online. I thought all my classes were put online, but then one professor like sent an email talking about, hey, you know, see you guys tomorrow. And we're like, what? So as it turns out, like I have to fill out this survey every day saying that, hey, I'm not sick. I would rather just stay home and take the class, right? Like I do, because I hate online classes, but I would rather take the online class than constantly be interrupted through my email talking about, hey, you need to take this survey before you come to campus. Like it's just I don't know. It's just it's not a good feeling. It's not a fun feeling, you know? And so when you're talking about community and talking about things like that, I would think, and I think people would appreciate a bit more of your, you know, past events, while, yes, like you said, being a little sensitive and making sure that you have content that like, content out there that puts out, you know, that, hey, we are taking precautions and stuff like that. So
yeah, and like being reflective of like,
yes,
I think that's the concern, is like I don't want to give a false view either.
Yeah, you don't want people to be like, what do you mean? You guys are having parties out there? And like, no, that's
right.
not, yeah, exactly. No, I understand. Trust me, 100%. So yeah, I mean, yeah, everybody's in a pickle right now, trying to figure out how to, you know, get people to engage with them that's not like, except for 14-year-old TikTokers, right? Like they're cool, they're good. They're doing their thing this year. So, but any other questions? Any final questions? I do have to peace out in a little, like just now. Michelle, you doing all right over there?
I'm hanging in here. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, am I supposed to go hire someone right now?
I like I said, especially your circumstance is very, your product is very niche and has regulations apparently that, I didn't know about, but definitely I would try and find and come across somebody that has a little bit of experience in seeing how you can promote CBD without, breaking FDA rules or whatever. So, because like all businesses have a portfolio. Like, I'm a photographer. Yes, I have a portfolio, but every business has a portfolio. Your portfolio is your product, right? Like your portfolio is your CBD cream or your gummies or whatever. And like, do they taste good? Do they look good? How do they make you feel? Like that is your portfolio. So I would make sure that you're putting out the best work possible to people that are interested. This way you can get, the results you're looking for.
Yeah, I'll say this, for Residence Innovation Center,
yeah,
we don't sponsor any ads or anything like that. All of our content has just been organic. We do use Facebook groups and share it through that. And then one big thing as well has been hashtags, just finding specific hashtags that, kind of target your audience.
Hashtags are, especially when you're beginning, hashtags are super important.
Yeah. So I think you could definitely get a lot of people to view your posts and all that. You just gotta find the right hashtags and then
yeah. See, a rookie mistake definitely is like, hey, I'm gonna be different, especially on Instagram. I'm gonna be different. I'm gonna put hashtag like CBD is the best kind of whatever, but like that's a hashtag that nobody browses. So what you're really doing is putting your own content into this funnel where no one sees it. You just want to hashtag CBD, right? Hashtag gummy, like broad, especially in the beginning, just super broad. This way, people that are going through their, the find feed or, just browsing, they're going to come across those hashtags and come across the posts that are within those hashtags. Right. And like, you'd be surprised if you just go super broad on like, whatever your hashtag under your post is, you just go super broad, just say hashtag CBD. The amount of people that are already browsing because when it says like 1.2 million posts in this hashtag, 600,000 in this hashtag. Just go through and find whatever hashtag is related to you, but has the most amount of posts. It sounds weird because you're going to feel like, oh, I'm just one in a million that's going, but the way people browse and scroll through content especially Instagram and Facebook, is just like they will come across it, and the way the algorithms work is just it's a mystery to everybody. So I would just stay broad instead of going super niche.
That's something I'll try out. A course I took said like to keep it between 500,000 and a million, or like between, I don't know, they gave like smaller numbers, not like they said make it more specific, but not too specific.
Yeah, don't go super specific at all. But okay. I would even go higher than 500,000.
Yeah, okay. I'll try to do CBD. That just seems like, wow, okay, CBD.
Yeah, because especially like people who are interested in that, they're gonna go through the hashtag CBD. They don't know any other hashtag. Like every other hashtag is made up by somebody else. Right. So.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
I'll try it. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Michelle and Emily. I appreciate you guys coming through today.
Nice to meet you, Emily.
Definitely. Hope to hear from you guys again.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
All right. You good?
Yeah.
How's it going over there?
Going good. It's actually pretty busy.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, but only staff members have to wear masks. It's optional.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, just because it's only like the city's rules for like a staff.
Ah, gotcha. All right. Well, see, I didn't know that. That's good to know for me, especially. But all right, I'm about to head to class right now. Yeah. So I'll catch you.